That's how you got arrested.
She just got to hear me. She wake me. I was woken up by her busting me in my mouth with my phone. That's how I was woke up.
The whole fight.
All right, the Committee on Parole is reconvening. We're at St. Tammany Parish Jail. It is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, and it is 11:29 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renatza, serving as chairman today. My colleagues on the panel this morning, Mr. Danny Barra is to my left, Mr. Chucky Tillis is to my right. Now, I can't see Larissa. Can you, the camera, there we go, now I can see. We are at St. Tammany, as I said. Would the staff at St. Tammany please introduce yourself for the record?
Corporal Jonathan Lott.
Thank you, Corporal Lott, for accommodating us this morning. And I would like to ask the offender to please introduce herself and tell us her name and DOC number.
My name is Dorissa Gill. DOC number is 506042.
All right, good morning, Ms. Gill. We're here for a revocation decision this morning. And we're going to put up a revocation questionnaire on the screen, and I want you to see, do you recognize that form? Whoops, we will get back to it. Stand by. Stand by, we're going to put it back up.
This is the phone.
You looking at it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize this one on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature at the bottom dated what, April 2nd of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Based on the information contained in that form, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to read the allegations against you and then we'll talk about what happened. Okay.
Yes,
You have to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. So you're accused of violating condition number 4. It says you were arrested on November 5th, 2023 for the offense of domestic abuse battery. You pled guilty to disturbing the peace on March 4th, 2024. Yes. You were sentenced to serve 2 days in the parish jail, given credit for time served. So how do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Guilty.
By guilty?
Because I pled guilty. Yes.
Guilty today, okay, to violating that condition. And then we have condition number 10, and it reads, you're currently $1,134 in arrears in your supervision fees. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, so let's talk about what happened with the domestic abuse battery. Tell us what happened.
I was asleep. I just got off from work. I went to bed, and I was waking up. Excuse me. I was woken up with my phone being hit me in my mouth. My girlfriend at the time had to bust me in my mouth with my phone from something from social media. I got up from the bed. I grabbed my phone. I called my mom. Then I called the authorities. So I thought she walked out. So I went to go towards my daughter's room. That's where I was struck again from the back of my head. And at that point, I had to defend myself. She hit me very hard. So as she was trying to leave, I held her down. I sat on her because I wanted to wait for the police to get there. Unbeknown to me that I was going to be the one arrested and taken to jail. And I've been here ever since. So my lawyer found that she was already wanted from another county for the same charges. And she had charges against children. And they left her there with my daughter. And I was like, I was like, why was I being arrested when I was struck? I called the authorities in, I called my mom, and I was the one taken to jail. And I understood, because I caught the charge, I was in violation of my parole. But I thought, being that I was calling the authorities, I was the one endangered, why was I the one brought to jail? I defended myself and I was arrested.
Right. And I wanted to just mention the record shows that there was a prior called to your residence for a similar situation?
Yes.
Domestic situation.
No, it was, she was outside of my home, beating around the trailer, beating around the door. She drinks
Mhm.
and she gets like this. Cause I still to this day don't know what it was in my phone that had her wake me up with it to my mouth. I still don't know to this day what it could have been that she saw, but she had the drinking problem. And one particular time, I just put the chair behind the front door. I was not letting her into my home, and she beat around, and like she caused.
Okay, well, that's not really relevant to today. I just wanted to
Yeah.
mention there was it seems to be another episode.
Yeah.
So the reason that she got upset, according to what we see in the record, had to do with some texting.
Social media. I don't know, something from the phone. Yes.
And the record also indicates that both of you and her were intoxicated that day. I had been drinking all day.
No, ma'am. I just got off from a 12-hour shift from work and was going to do my daughter's hair, and I asked her to wait till the morning. I went to sleep. I talked to my sister and I went to sleep. I was woken up with this. I was not intoxicated. I was probably dazed up from being woken up that way, but I was not intoxicated. I just got off from a 12-hour shift.
Right, and all this occurred in the presence of your daughter. She was 15 at the time.
Yes.
So the victim, the other party to this,
Yes.
is Miss Bennett.
Yes.
And do you still have a relationship with Miss Bennett?
No, well, she's still trying to contact my family. Every time I talk to someone, she done called them. I asked my sister to block her. They didn't put her on block. She creates numbers. They call them again. I have no nothing with it. After March 4th, when I went to court on March 4th, from November to March 4th, I hadn't spoken with her. And she was trying to tell me something in the courtroom. So I called her March 4th. And something was said, brought back all the familiarities, brought back everything that I knew I didn't want to deal with. And that was it from that point. But other than that, no, ma'am.
There was some indication in the record when you were arrested that she didn't want to pursue charges against you.
Right. She also said that in the courtroom when they wanted her to give a victim statement, she was telling them from December 20 that that's not what she was trying to pursue, but the DA was trying to pursue because of my prior history, which I'm avoiding that. I hadn't nothing in my life was gonna lead me back to jail. I came home with a whole different person and was working, trying to get my child back into my custody, trying to take care of child support and all that. Nothing was gonna. I actually got a job. You know, I was trying to do everything right.
So let's talk about that. You mentioned that you were sleeping because you came home from work after
Yes,
work on shift. But tell us why you're behind in your fees.
I have $20,000 in child support arrears from being incarcerated. I owe the state $9,000. My taxes since I've been home has been taken by the state. Child support comes out of my check, and I still owe arrears for the times of me being incarcerated. So with that, and then my stepdad helped me get a place to live because it was hard for me to find anywhere to rent with my background. So I was paying $800 for that, light bills, and still trying to keep my daughter under the roof with me, fighting for that at the same time.
That's the 15-year-old you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the one you're paying child support for?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I also look at the record and I see, we know what your original charge was, and there you have been revoked on previous occasions. You're a third offender, and I see at least 3 revocations. What would be different with today?
Today, what would be different from those previous ones is I'm a different person. When I was released from prison this last time, I came home with a game ball. I had it all set up, planned. 9 days of me being released from prison, I had a job that they said I couldn't have. I had that job. I worked that job. I kept myself busy, and nothing I was doing was going to lead me back. I changed my people, my places, my friends. I had none of that. I did everything I needed to do to get my daughter, to have a home, to provide for her, to just be back how I needed to be. What would be different with this is that I am that person who I've made myself to be this last go around. I am living my life to be better for my child, for myself, and for everyone else around me. I am not the same person I was back when I started at 19. I am not that person. No longer am I a monster. I am a different person trying to live my life better. I had a job, something I didn't do since 19, maybe. I don't know. I was just, my life was different and I wanted better for me and my daughter. You know,
What is the job? What job did you get?
I was a caregiver. I was taking care of the elderly.
That suits you?
Yes.
That suits you? Like it's rewarding for you?
Yes, it is. And after the second, I was caregiver of the quarter in my second month of being there. So yes, I love it. And that's, yes.
Daughter, where's your 15-year-old daughter? Where's she stay?
Well, right now she's by my mom. She goes back and forth between my mom and her dad. My mom is who had the custody of her, and that's where the child support and stuff came in. But her dad, back and forth between my mom and her dad. And the last time when I was home, it was a work in progress, and I was like climbing them stairs of having her, and it's just I made one wrong decision. I chose something to be a part of that path that she wasn't a part of my plan, and I chose that, and that here I am, rock bottom again.
Okay, any questions, our colleagues?
Not much, but I can't tell you why you were arrested. I was looking through the police report and it says, according to Moore, she was awoken by the sound of Guild yelling. Moore placed headphones on her ears and ignored them. The argument continued. Somehow they ended up in Moore's bedroom. While in the room, Moore, Guild, and Bennett yelled, and Bennett was asking for help calming Guild down. They exited Moore's room and went into the living room. Once in the living room, Moore observed Guild push, punch, and kick Bennett. Moore also observed Bennett laying on her back with Guild on top of her, striking her repeatedly. So that's how you got arrested.
By that time, I had been struck so hard in the back of my head. When my daughter was awoken, I was struck so hard in the back of my head. I went into straight defense mode. Then I was trying to keep her there. I wanted her to be arrested. I was trying to keep her there. With her going into my daughter's room, coming back into my daughter always had her headphones on. She was awake until I was yelling. By the time she just got to hear me, she wake me. I was woken up by her busting me in my mouth with my phone. That's how I was woke up.
The whole fight was over being woken up?
No, once I walked out the room, I called my mom, I called the police. Once I walked out the room to go towards my daughter's room is when I was struck in the back of my head. That's when the fight took place.
You're saying you didn't start the fight, you just participated in the fight.
I did not start the fight. I was asleep.
All right. That's all.
All right, anything you want to say to wrap it up for us?
I was just praying for the opportunities. I was doing better with my life. I made a decision to choose somebody that didn't belong into my life. I'm asking for the opportunity to do better. I was doing better. I've changed who I was. Everything about my life, what it was before. It was a dark area. Now I'm looking at a light. The light was so much brighter for me this round. I changed everything about who I was the last time I was released from prison. I got a job, something I didn't think I was going to do ever.
How long you been in jail?
I was across this time 6 months.
Right, you've been in jail 6 months?
This time, yes. But
All right, I move for an executive session. Can I get a second?
A second?
And could we do the roll call?
Cheryl Renata.
Yes.
Danny Barra.
Yes.
Chuck Tillis.
Yes.
Ms. Gill, we'll be in executive session for just a few moments to discuss confidential matters.
yes, ma'am. Oh, shit.
I'll be voting first. I'm a little concerned about the way you handle this whole situation, particularly with your daughter present. Although I am impressed that you initiated, contact with law enforcement and your mother should have walked out the house, should have left. However, you pled guilty to what, disturbing the peace, you got sentenced to 2 days, you've been in jail for 6 months. So my vote today will be, do not revoke, however, add special conditions that you want, when you release, that you do enroll and complete an anger management class. And that you have absolutely no contact with, Ms. Bennett, ever.
Yes, ma'am.
My vote, I'm just one. I'll ask Mr. Balroff for his vote.
I'm gonna vote with the exact same special conditions. That relationship is toxic. You need to stay away from them.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tillis.
I concur with my colleagues.
All right. The light's still shining bright. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Well,
Thanks for watching another episode of Get Your Life. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications on so that you know when I post the next video. Thanks for watching.